Okay, so this is Sunday, and actually it's officially Monday now. It's 12:07 on December the 2nd, or January the 2nd, which means that tonight officially, coming up in just a few hours, is going to be the first speakeasy of 2017. So, in honor of that, I'm making a complete New Orleans dinner, and we're hoping that all of you who are within earshot and within driving distance can join us. And as promised, I am going to be showing you once again how to make my slow roast brisket from a frozen piece of meat. So it's really kind of cool. Some of the ingredients I have are the brisket, obviously, but I use Montreal steak seasoning. I'm using, this is an extremely expensive, very good wine, but I'm using it because it's that good. And this is olive oil. And then, don't look at that, those are my praline, stop looking. This is food grade food service film, and then food service foil. So Ryan's gonna keep showing you those things so you can see where you can order that from Amazon, by the way. Okay, this brisket is frozen solid. Okay, so the reason why we do it frozen solid, there's two points to why we would even bother with this. It's a rock, okay, no joke. Just brought it out of the deep freezer. If you slow roast something, it's going to stay more tender in the center, which is what you want. It'll give it a little more tenderness. It'll also give you the options of rare, medium rare, and whatnot. Generally, I slow roast them so long that they're well done, but they're so tender you could spread them on bread. Okay, and I'm talking about my briskets. First things first, you can take olive oil and coat it, which basically is going to seal in the juices that are going to be slow roasting and accumulating through the wine. Okay, then we're going to completely coat whole thing. Don't be afraid to coat it, even though it's salt. It's going to completely saturate this meat and permeate if you do it right. You don't have to put it in the pan. You're basically trying to season the meat, not the pan. So the juices that will form from this are going to give you the most amazing flavors. Okay, so it's pretty much crusted. Now, that is going to break down and go through the fat and get to the other side. Matter of fact, it seems like the fat side might not be on the other side. Let me take a look at something real quick here. It is. We're going to turn it over. So, the reason I'm turning it over, and I'm glad this is happening right now, is to turn it over like this, all these fat juices are going to go through the meat, which is what I was hoping to have done. Now, the olive oil is not affecting the fat that's in here because we're going to peel all this, the extra fats off of this once it's cooked down, because there's going to be a whole lot of juices and stuff. All the au jus is going to come just dripping into this pan. It's going to be about a quarter of the way full, maybe half the way full, with the juices that are registered. Now, we've obviously got quite a bit of salt on there. Not to worry. We're not going to put a whole lot extra on. And usually by the time you make that gravy anyway, or the demi-glace, to make demi-glace, you require a bordelaise, which I'll explain that later, not tonight. That's a lamb-based master sauce. Okay, so I'm just putting in enough wine to give it something to work with, okay? So I wouldn't worry too much about adding too much wine. There really is no such a thing. Now, here's the part that people get confused about. They always concern themselves about the cellophane. Don't. Food grade cellophane is designed to be able to be cooked with. Any really good chef will tell you that. Any really good chef has done it 100 times. Okay? So, there you go. And again, you can get that from Amazon.com. But the secret is you can't cook with just a cellophane, because cellophane will melt. And it has to have something to melt onto. Okay? So, have to put it on foil. Now you're going to foil over the top in order to give this cellophane something to cling to, which is what we want it to do. Two things are going to happen here. We're going to make sure that it's keeping all the air out, so creating a seal. You don't have to close it down. Just make sure that it layers all the way over. Okay, now that that's done, you take the cellophane, or the foil, excuse me, and lay it shiny side down. Okay, now because you put the cellophane on and it's, you know it's overlapping, once you grab that foil, you're creating a steam seal. Okay, be careful because foil is sharp and it'll get you. Okay, so now all the cellophane that was on the bottom is caught up underneath that foil now. So what's going to happen is as this melts, as the cellophane becomes extremely hot, it's going to adhere to the foil. It's not going to stick to the meat at all. You'll never have cellophane on the meat. It doesn't work like that. So, and it's no big mystery. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, so this is ready. It's that simple. Big frozen piece of meat. You can use the cheapest cut of meat you want. It doesn't matter. If you slow roast anything, you do it low and slow, it's going to get you results that you're going to be shocked by. So, olive oil, Montreal steak seasoning, red wine, food grade film, and then your heavy duty food service foil. Now all of those, I get all of this from Amazon.com and I do it all the time, so you can do it. My favorite is Reynolds for the food service film, and Daily Chef is really good for the foil. So here we go. You take a look at the oven temperature, it's 225. Okay. You can see my oven's used a lot. Put it about the center of the oven if you can. And that's it. Now it's a little after midnight right now. So what basically that means is that by tomorrow at about, well, probably about 8 o'clock in the morning, people are going to be waking up and smelling the most amazing smell in this kitchen. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when I start sampling it out. Everybody here starts gathering around. By 6:30, the doors to the speakeasy open, and by about 7:30, we start to serve. So this is not all I'm making. Tomorrow, I'll be making jambalaya. Everything is from scratch, like usual, including the sauce. I do it all from zero. Jambalaya, red beans and rice. Red beans are going to have andouille sausage, of course, and gumbo, sausage and andouille gumbo. Yes, because I like it, and I can't eat the seafood, so. Never had any complaints. So tomorrow's a really New Orleans meal for the speakeasy, and we hope you'll join us. This is very simple. Again, it took that long to prepare something that by tomorrow is going to be la pièce de résistance. So we hope to see you tomorrow, and I'm going to go to bed now. Oh, by the way, these pralines, these belong to Anna Espinosa. So Anna, if you ever want to see these pralines alive, you need to come to the speakeasy tomorrow.